accusing a retired priest of sexual assault, says he came forward more than a decade later because he wondered if there were other people who felt victimized.
We heard from that accuser in Jefferson County Court today as William Nolan faces 6 felony counts of second-degree sexual assault of a child. Schmidt tells us how the defense is responding.
As day 2 of the trial wraps up for the day, the alleged victim says watching the movie Spotlight inspired him to come forward. But the defense says many of the details of his story don't add up. The accuser takes the stand for the first time in Jefferson County Court, describing what he says was at least 100 sexual encounters between him and William Nolan. The man, now 26, says the sexual assaults happened for 4 years, starting in 2006, when he was an altar boy at St. Joseph's Church, and Nolan was his priest.
I'm not terrorized by it. I'm not having nightmares by it because of the nature of our relationship. It wasn't forced.
The accuser says he developed a crush on Nolan as a middle schooler, and they started to have sexual encounters in the church, at Nolan's home, and in public places. He says because he often instigated the acts, he felt guilty for coming forward more than a decade later.
So I felt bad getting a man in trouble who I did not hate or did not dislike. So I felt bad. I had a quite hard time calling the police, knowing that it would put him in very serious trouble.
Nolan's attorney is trying to poke holes in his argument, using multiple examples where details he described change, including a sexual encounter on a ski trip.
At one point, you told Detective Hefty it occurred after he took you out to dinner at Denny's in Janesville, after the ski trip? Yes?
Yeah.
At one point, you told Detective Hefty that it occurred in his office before you went on the ski trip that day? So yes?
Yeah.
The defense argues that the timing of many of the alleged incidents the accuser told a police detective about doesn't add up.
You also told her that there was never a time you almost got caught, didn't you?
There wasn't.
Okay, and this occurred, by your own estimate, at least 100 times, right?
Correct.
Sometimes in a private location, i.e. the rectory.
Sure.
Later this week, we're also expecting to hear testimony from the principal and teachers at St. Joseph's, where the alleged victim went to school. In Jefferson County, I'm Schmidt, News 3 Now.
And the alleged victim's mother and father also testified this morning. He says he often lied to them about his whereabouts when he was with Nolan.
Today.